Well, what a week in the National League it has been. Hello, I'm back with another video, and as you can tell by the way I started this video, it's National League time. It's National League preview time. Just before I start the preview, I just want to say, isn't this league a very, very competitive league this year? Results are not being as straightforward to call this season. I think it's already proving to be a very, very competitive division, and just makes it more fascinating because, as I can say, nobody now in the National League have not picked at least a point up. Every team have picked at least a point up in their first few games, which is showing you sort of how competitive this league is. So much so, I'm going to do the preview slightly differently. I'm going to give you the results from midweek, and then we'll go into the previews for this week. As of midweek, and I say as of midweek because yesterday we had the Solihull York game. Here's the point. For the games from the Saturday ended Yeovil 1, Barnet 2, Woking 2, Scunthorpe 0, Wilston 2, Oldham 1, Maidstone 2, Dorking Wanderers 4, Maidenhead 2, Altricham 0, Gateshead 1, Notts County 1, Halifax Town 0, Southend United 0, Eastleigh 1, Dagenham Redbridge 1, Chesterfield 2, Wrexham 0, so that in the preview, Bromley 1, Torquay United 0, and Bournemouth 1, Aldershot 2. And last night's game between Solihull and York ended 1-1. Solihull did take the lead in that, and York hit back with an John Lewis header, which is fantastic for Lenny. But like I said, it's just showing you how competitive this league is being. There's really been no easy results in this league, and that is how you want a league to be. And I don't think there's going to be runaway winners with this. I really don't. So after taking you through the results of midweek, we'll now talk about the games coming up on Saturday for the National League teams. Let's get started with the first game, which is Aldershot up against Bromley. Aldershot with that bit of a surprise win in midweek on Tuesday. They're hosting Bromley. Bromley, a good side. They've got more goals going through the team this year, obviously winning in midweek as well. It makes it all a bit more challenging. Which way would you go with this? I'm gonna edge Bromley. I'm fancying Aldershot 1, Bromley 2. But as we've already seen in this league, who knows? Altrincham up against Yeovil in match 2. And Chris Hargreaves has not had the easiest of starts at Yeovil at all, has he? And Altrincham, I do think Altrincham are kind of struggling with their, full-time status right now. Losing in midweek as well. Both teams are looking really for their first win. This is difficult. This is a very, very difficult game to call. I'm going to go for Yeovil because I think they need it probably a little bit more than Altrincham do. I'm going to say 2-0 for Yeovil Town. Chris Hargreaves needs a result, needs a win, and needs it soon. Because it looks like there may be a bit of angst between the Yeovil Town supporters and, Are they still with Chris Hargreaves? That's what I'd like to know. But I'm saying 2-0 to Yeovil against Altricham. Barnet in game 3, the surprising early pace setters of the National League. Dean Brennan. I know it's early and you don't want to speak too soon. But a cracking start by Dean Brennan and his boys at Barnet up against Woking, who in midweek pulled off I'm not going to call it a surprising win. I think it kind of shows what this league is about. Woking winning obviously 2-0 in midweek against newly relegated Scunthorpe. This is tough because these are two teams that you expect to be around that mid-table pack. But they've both got threats going through their sides, really. And this is a difficult one to call this. Who do I go with? I'm gonna just edge Barnet. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go conservative, and people may disagree here, but I'm gonna go Barnet 1, Woking 0. How wrong could I possibly be with that one? But we shall see. Next, Dagenham and Redbridge really not had the best of starts in the league this season at all, to be honest. Obviously, midweek, Dagenham did lose. Not really what they wanted to do. I am absolutely certain of that. Sorry, no, they didn't. They drew. Apologies. Get the results right. And they drew 1-1 with Eastleigh, but it definitely hasn't been the start for the Daggers. They thought, they were going to have. There was a real spring in their step at the start. Obviously not starting out as well as they wanted to. Makes it an uncomfortable start for the Daggers, shall we say. Against Alan Devonshire's Maidenhead United. Why do I got a feeling he's going to get keys to the town? Alan Devonshire is one of the best non-league managers I've ever come across. The things that man can do on such a small budget is absolutely phenomenal. And obviously in midweek, getting a 2-0 win against Altricham, backing up their win from the previous weekend against Scunthorpe. But we say going to Maidenhead is one of the toughest places to go to. And they've got 2 wins out of 2. Can they back it up against Dagenham? Dagenham need a win. And they need, again, you need a win as soon as you can get it. And I think with Dagenham's form at the moment, they need it. I'm not sure about Maidenhead on the road. Obviously, last time they were on the road, they went to Notts County and they lost, fairly comfortably. I fancy Dagenham for a relatively comfortable win here. I'm going to say 2-0 to Dagenham and Redbridge over Maidenhead, but you cannot sleep on Maidenhead. They are becoming a right, pain in the ass, to be completely honest. And they are, but that's all credit to Alan and his coaching staff and the players. But I am saying that Dagenham will get a win, which they need to kind of kickstart their season. So, 2-0 for me. Game 5 on this is Dorking hosting Gateshead. Now, Dorking with a great win in midweek, I have to say. Dorking are surprising a lot of people right now in the National League, and this is proof of how tough the National League is, Both sides from the National League South played each other in midweek, and Dorking came out with a 4-2 win. So they're going to be buzzing coming into Saturday's game against Gateshead. Now Gateshead, like I've said in my last few previews, losing the two talisman up top for Gateshead, the players that scored the goals to get them into this division. They very nearly upset the apple cart against Notts County in midweek. Notts County getting a very, very late equaliser against Gateshead. But that's 3 straight draws. 3 straight draws for Gateshead after the draw in midweek. And, I can't call this one. This one is a very, very difficult game to call. I'm going to just edge Gateshead. I don't know why, but I just have a funny feeling about Gateshead, but they're going to want to break the duck. But Dorking, like I said, they've had that buzz of winning in midweek, and they're at home, so it could carry them through. Seems to be a lot of goals going on in Dorking games at the moment. I'm going to go for Gateshead to win 3-2 against Dorking this weekend. But that should be a fascinating tie, that. Can Gateshead get the first win? And can Dorking get back-to-back wins? We'll find out on Saturday which happens. Next up, Scunthorpe United host Solihull Moors. Solihull have had a steady start, 5 points from the first few games. Scunny had that opening day win at home to Yeovil, and then have gone to 2 non-league sides, if you want to call them that, really what you call non-league sides, and lost both the games. This is big for Scunthorpe because they're back home again, and they're going to want to sort of lay a marker down, and when they get back, Solihull battling draw on Wednesday with York. 2 very good sides playing each other. I think this could be an open affair. Neil Ardley, going with the start they've made, they would have liked a couple of more results, especially after going ahead on Wednesday. They'd like to have seen that out. But Scunny, I always talk about respecting a level. I'm not saying Scunthorpe aren't doing that, but it might have just given them a bit of realisation that, hey, this is not going to be straightforward. I'm going to go for Solihull to win this. And I'm going to go... I want to go 2-0 to Solihull here, really. I just think with the goals they could get with Sabara and that still at the club, I fancy him to get a win over Scunthorpe. So I'm saying 2-0 to Solihull. And like I said, they are, not biased, but I do hope Solihull go up this season, in all honesty, because after our battles last season. So Solihull 2, Scunthorpe 0 for me. But Scunny will want to bounce back from 2 straight defeats and try and get a win on the home patch. Next is Southend up against Oldham. Southend have not had the best of starts, or as well as they wanted to, against Oldham, who have been a bit hit and miss right now. In midweek, we'll take you through the scores again. In midweek, Oldham lost 2-1 to Wealdstone, Again, that's kind of like a wake-up call to supporters that teams like Wealdstone aren't to be underestimated. And if they thought that before, they won't think it now. But to me, it's just Southend with the 0-0 draw in midweek. This is a difficult one. I'm gonna actually go for Southend to take this one. I'm gonna say 2-1 to Southend, because they're gonna want to get a win sooner or later. Southend, and what best to do it against a team that's just come down, and it would be a right kick in the teeth for Oldham if they do that. So I'm saying 2-1 for Southend over Oldham. Next, it's Torquay United up against Boreham Wood. Torquay with a disappointing defeat midweek. Boreham Wood are being who Boreham Wood are. They obviously lost midweek as well, surprisingly at home to Aldershot. So, they're both going to want to bounce back from these kind of situations. But again, you have to look at Torquay being at home. They're always difficult to play at home. And I'm going basically just on home form in this one. And I'm going to say, again, tight one this. I'm going to say Torquay will win it 1-0 against Boreham Wood. It's one of those games, it could easily get tight, or there could be loads of goals, but I'm saying Torquay to beat Boreham Wood by 1-0 on Saturday. Next, we have a surprise package in Wealdstone hosting Halifax Town in this game. And Wealdstone have really, they've really started the season well, I think. Going to Oldham and winning there. And obviously Halifax getting a 0-0 draw, getting their first points, but they still haven't scored yet. No, they've only scored 1 goal. Apologies. And at the minute, you have to go on form, don't you? I mean, Halifax have got players that can cause problems, but at the minute, you look at Wealdstone and you're thinking, if you can get your home form going, you never know. I think they'll be definitely a solid mid-table side. I fancy Wealdstone to get the win here as well. So I'm going to say 3-1 for Wealdstone over Halifax. Obviously, I haven't seen Halifax play yet, but if you look at results, it is quite alarming about how they're struggling to create. I think after losing the players they lost in the summer, I think if Halifax fans were to be honest, they can't be too surprised. You never want the start they've had, but with the amount of players they have lost, probably it's just realigning, it's just readjusting themselves. But I fancy Wealdstone for this. They've really started well. So I'm saying 3-1 to Wealdstone. Next is the media would say the surprise of the season. Wrexham up against Maidstone. Now I say surprise of the season because I don't think people thought after 3 league games they'd see Wrexham down in 16th. I don't think anyone really saw that up against Maidstone, who are again, they're being competitive, and it's very, very good to see. And again, Wrexham will be There'll be some pressure on Phil Parkinson, without shadow of a doubt, with the way they've started the campaign. But they're at home against Maidstone. Again, I haven't seen enough of Maidstone yet to make a genuine opinion. I'm going to say for Wrexham to win this. I think Wrexham need to win this, I think. I am going to say Wrexham to win 3-0. But you never know with the National League. Like I say, you never know. It could easily go the other way. But I'm saying 3-0 Wrexham against Maidstone United. The penultimate game of the Saturday is York City up against Eastleigh. And York City showed some real credentials drawing with Solihull. Especially getting something at Solihull, which is not easy to do for any team, really. So to go and actually do that, it's good. They're hosting Eastleigh, who are maybe starting to find their feet just slightly. And credit to Eastleigh, getting a 1-1 draw against Dagenham. So it's not going to be straightforward for York. I'm going to go for a draw here between York and Eastleigh. I'm going to go York City 2, Eastleigh 2. But, this league wouldn't surprise me if either side won the game. But I'm saying 2-2 between York and Eastleigh. Again, that could be a bit of a sleeper for the weekend. We'll have to see how that one goes along. And finally, we have probably the game of the weekend, if you look at the fixtures in general. And the fact it's also going to be on TV. It's at Meadow Lane as Notts County host second place Chesterfield. Chesterfield have made a great start of the season, to be honest. Just in behind on goal difference from Barnet. And Notts County, unbeaten so far. You can't really fault that. But 1 win and 2 draws. Maybe not the start that Notts County were hoping for. In fact, I know for some Notts County fans it wasn't what they were hoping for. This is difficult, because Notts County at home are always formidable. They only lost twice last season at home, all of last season. And Chesterfield are starting similarly to how they started last year to a degree in way of results. This is tough, and I think this has got draw written all over it as well. I'm going to go 1-1 between Notts County and Chesterfield. They've both got potent attacks. To me, it's who can defend better. Notts County, for the last 2 or 3 seasons that they've been at National League level, they have struggled defensively, and it's coming again. That again seems to be Notts County's issue. It's not scoring goals for Notts County, it's keeping them at the other end. Chesterfield starting to find their feet fully under Paul Cook, but I don't think I can split either of the two sides. So I'm saying Notts County 1, Chesterfield 1. I'm sure Notts County fans won't like me for that, or Chesterfield for that matter. But it's one of those that either of them could nick, because they both got good squads. I just think they might cancel each other out. And for Notts County, as well, it's keeping the ball out the net, not scoring. Happens to be the problem. So I'm going 1-1. They're my predictions for the National League. Let me know down below what you think. And also don't forget the Notts County Chesterfield game. If you cannot make it to that, it will be on BT. It kicks up at 5:20. It will be on BT Saturday night. Look out for that if you can't make the game. But I think that could be a tight tussle. That there's either going to be loads of goals or there's going to be hardly any goals. But it's going to be entertaining to see. So they're my predictions for the National League for this coming Saturday. I will be doing this preview a little bit earlier next week because I've realised there's 2 games on the Friday, so I will be doing it a little bit earlier, probably early next week will come the predictions for next weekend. But get your predictions down below and on all the social media, all the good stuff about what you think is going to happen to your team in the National League and what you think the predictions for the week is going to be for everybody in the National League. In the meantime, please like, please share, please subscribe. I've been Dean Wingate. I will see you guys very, very soon with another one. See you soon, guys.